Have you ever had to give yourself a pep talk just to walk into a car dealership? Or have you ever thought to yourself, I can't trust car salesmen, they don't have my best interests at heart? I'm here to debunk the myths and break the stigma. Welcome to Carman Conversations, the podcast. Welcome back to Carman Conversations, and this season is all about BT50 Ute Centre. It's a pretty exciting one, and we're joined by Lauren today to ask us a little bit more about some of the frequently asked questions in the BT50 Ute Centre. Lauren.
When you look at buying a house, you'd be pretty silly to buy it without doing a thorough walkthrough and testing out everything you could. This leads me to my question about the 24-hour test drive. Is it as simple as it sounds? What is it?
Absolutely. So this is something that we I guess we encouraged quite a bit of time ago, and especially more towards BT50, because there's a lot more, and you don't sell, and I'll let Clint talk a little bit more about it, but we don't sell BT50 the way you would sell a CX-3 or a Mazda 2 or a CX-5. There's so many different areas to a BT50 is what you're looking for, whether it be rideability, whether it be for towing, whether it be for like personal use, like so many different instances, you know. So what we thought is if we can get a 24-hour test drive, not only for people to get their partner to drive the car or the kids to go in the car, but maybe even to tow their trailer, their work trailer, to load up the back of the tray to see, hang on, I need this perfectly situated in here and I want to make sure it's right, and then my visibility and what does it ride like afterwards. You can't do that on a 20-minute test drive on our test track. So what we do pretty well is that we encourage the people to, for whatever reason, and I'd take all day to list them, to go out and do it themselves. So, Clint, you're probably better off, you do it, you live it down there and breed that Ute Centre. So what do you think?
I think it's a really good idea. Like a lot of people do tow. They want to know how it tows, how it's going to tow their particular caravan as well. You know, like we've got that XTR set up there with the tow pack and electronic brakes, and that was the sole purpose for doing that, so we could lend that out and go, well, know what, go for a drive in it, tow your caravan, make sure it's right for you. And I guess that's why we do it, and why we've got the Ute Centre there is because we want to build a ute for that person, so we need to know what that person does. Correct. And everything else.
Bang on. So it's often the case, you know, and it doesn't matter what yard you're in. You go and jump in a car, they all drive nice. They all smell great, you know, and you get in the car, how good is this compared to what I have? But you can't work out everything you need in that certain period of time. And there's a lot of things that, you know, that in a conversation that Clint might have with one of the customers, that you're not going to be able to answer those questions in 15 or 20 minutes. And there's some of those things that you don't think to ask the salesperson when you're there. It's not until you get home, and it might be a little trait that they have with their ute and the way they tie down things on the back of the ute. You know, it might be a bit of a storage thing. It might be a rideability. It might be one of the kids, you know, that that like the way that rides and might get a bit of car sick, you know. So, yeah, we're very accommodating there because this purchase is obviously going to be a big one for you, and we wanted to get it right. And we are going to be your long-term car people, you know. So we build the trust, obviously, and we give that time to get that decision right. It's going to be the many more from there on in.
It's also that, like, people like to work out whether it goes in the driveway all right as well. Car seats is a big thing.
Yeah, huge.
Because the BT, like a dual cab ute is a family car now, let's face it. Like, it's a family car, it's a workhorse, It's a towing car, it's a fun car. Like, there's so many avenues you can go down with this vehicle compared to like a sedan or a hatch or something. Like, it's a purpose-built car. We can purposely build it to what you want or accommodate what you need kind of thing. So
if you've got someone that wants a test drive, is it something they need to ask for, or do you promote that?
Of course I do. Like, I guess the test drive, as you said before, like the car is always going to drive great.
Yeah.
I think the way we do it is we work out what they want and how they're going to use their car. We sit down, we work all that out. We give them test drive, take it for the 24 hours. 9 times out of 10, they'll come back and be like, love the car, but I also need this, and this, and this. And that's the beauty of that. It opens up their mind, and then they can start thinking about it. And it also opens up the door to them actually picking up the ute with everything on it, ready to go, without having to drop it off here, drop it off there.
One-stop shop?
Yeah, one-stop shop.
So, Lauren, I guess that answers your question. It is that easy. I advertise it pretty heavily, you know, that it is available, and I do that through social media, and we do it through our website. And Clint especially up front, will say that a 24-hour test drive is available, because there are all these things that people might be sitting back and going, actually, I don't know if I can do that, and I wonder if I can do that, and I won't know until I get it. Well, you can. You can find all that out beforehand, and that's why we promote it so heavily.
And that leads me on to my last question is, I guess, between you guys, what are your top recommendations of when someone does take that ute home for a test drive? What are the things that you really recommend them do so then they get the most out of that test drive experience?
We'll be probably different here in our answer, which is really good. I would be saying for comfort, and just so, what would be your normal daily routine? What would you be doing? Where do you park in the garage? How much room have you got in the garage? Which side of the car do the kids get in? Is there a car seat? What do you usually put in the back? These are the things I normally encourage, and then let them do their daily routine. Then you've got the more calculated people that Clint are going to deal with, that are campers and that people for work, and that have their exact drawers that need to be in their ute, and they're using it for work.
Measurements and everything else, yeah.
So his line is probably more around, hang on.
What are we doing? What do we need to fit in this? What do we need to tow? Where are we going to be towing? Going up hills and stuff like that. So yeah, it's everyone's different, and that's the beauty. That ute is built for anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
It's such a good vehicle and so versatile.
So Clint, yours would really be more around, can you tow it?
Can you tow? What's going to fit in the back?
Yeah.
If we put a canopy on there, what kind of setup can we have on the back if we do a tray? Towing boats, caravans. So working out what we can actually tow, what we can have as a payload in the car, because there's a whole heap of calculations just to make sure it all fits in and it's going to suit what that person wants, kind of thing. So it's not as simple as just saying, hook it up and away you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine's probably more about why don't you do it on your daily routine? Mine personally would be a school drop-off. Let's put your school bags in the back. Is there a pram that needs to go in there? Have we got much room left over? Is there all the things that we need to fit in? And then think from a weekend level, if we're going at the beach, have we got enough room? Do I need an electric roller cover? Do I need a tonneau cover? Do I need a campy? What would be best suited? And these are the options. All that stuff, So then what it allows them to do is go home, take the car there, drive it, fall in love with it and go, yeah, this is me. I love it. Now I need to add my wish list of everything, and they write them all down, and we took them all off, and so we can do the whole lot of them, So it definitely pays, and it's worthwhile.
Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile for them to take that extra
Absolutely.
24 hours to
definitely.
make sure it's perfect.
You're building a car to suit, and it's just personal and it's professional, and for work-wise, whatever it might be, that gives you the opportunity to get it bang on, perfectly right.
The first time as well.
The first time, yeah. It's so clever.
Great, thank you guys.
No worries.
Pleasure. So as you can see, there's a fair bit to get through there, and if you'd like to know more about the 24-hour test drive and actually take that time to think, what do I need to do to purchase the car, and maybe some of those things we talked about, creating a checklist and finding more than just the drivability and will everyone fit, find out more by following the links in the description below and getting in contact with Clint and myself to find out how easy it is.